had kids, and I understand it's harder with kids and family, but in your position, definitely, with all due respect, and maybe even Nav as well, I'm coming in Saturdays, I'm coming in early, I'm staying late, I'm working every hour I can for a month. Like just this end of finance, and same at Christmas as well, because it's such a good opportunity to either close on your pipeline and actually make money, or build your pipeline for July. Because right now people are ready, they need to spend money. Some of them actually, I messaged Tom, our accountant, the other day. I'm like, mate, how much money do I need to spend to reduce my tax bill? Just tell me what do I need to spend, I'll spend on something. Like I'm active, and I'm not the only business owner that's doing that. That's when I usually get a new car. Okay, so our working competition, I put during a crisis or trauma, we have decisions to make, right? It's fight, flight, or freeze sort of mode. So we're going through COVID. What do I do? Oh my God, I can't control it. The economy's crashing, people are not spending money, and we just freeze up. Or we can take control. So a little exercise I want you to think about is, what parts of your day right now do you have total control over? And just write them down for yourself. What part of your day do you have total control over? Just 2 or 3 things that instantly come to mind. Going to go around, grab one from every one of you. Steve, one part of your day you've got total control over.
My mindset.
Mindset. Nav?
How you start your day.
How you start your day. In?
Structure.
Structure. Jamal?
Reactions.
How you react to certain situations. Perfect. What do you not have control over?
People buy.
People buy?
Pick up rate.
Pick up rate or someone?
Tie pickers.
Tie. I disagree. You can control your tie. You create tie kickers as well. We can't control whether we get a tie kicker, but we can control whether we decide to stay on the phone with them. So there's a slight
which is something
caveat
that I'm doing, where I'm staying on the phone for them for a lot longer than what was necessary.
Because they're easy conversations, right? It's a comfortable conversation. They're prepared to ask you mundane questions. We know the answers to it, and it's just an easy out. So we can control whether we get rid of them early. Jamal? The environment, define the environment, what do you mean?
Well, I mean in terms of, well, not necessarily environment, but also on the phone when I'm speaking to somebody, I can't control what they're going through or what they are.
Yeah.
Their environment, I guess.
Okay, cool. So there's a few things. It's easier to build out the list of things you can't control, for sure. So I can't control the environment, the economy, their personal situation, what objections they're going to give me. I can't control whether they can afford it or not. Are they a business owner? Have they got staff? Are they in the right time to buy? What do we spend most of our time and energy on? Things that we can control or things that we can't control? What do you think most people spend most of their time and energy on? Things that we can't control. Most people are blaming external factors. That's what salespeople historically do. We will blame everything that's out of our control. Oh, well, it's all right for you, Ryan. You're not in my industry. That's probably one of the most common things I hear on a training session. You don't know what it's like down here in Melbourne. No, I don't, but I know my Melbourne clients are still buying. So unless you're getting really unlucky, but every single Melbourne client that you're getting right now is just not buying, we're speaking to people in Melbourne as well, and they are buying. So it starts up here. So I want you to go, that's an awareness, right? Okay, these are all the things that I cannot control. And every time one of those things comes into your mind, that's a trigger, and we need to go, I'm not going to think about that for more than 5 seconds, right? So somebody says to you, I'm not in a position to buy, right? We can't allow ourselves to get frustrated. Some people are just not in a position to buy. And guess what? Some people really just don't have the money.
Yeah.
Genuinely. Some people actually do need to sleep on it. Strange, isn't it? Some people do need to sleep on it. Some people do need to talk to their partner. That's how they buy. We can't get frustrated with that. The only reason we get frustrated is because we don't have a full pipeline. If we have a full pipeline and you've got 10 more calls today and 10 more people to speak to today that are genuine opportunities, and then one person says, mate, well, I just need to sleep on it. Listen, take your time. Take your time, process it, have a conversation with who you need to talk to, and then let's make an educated decision over the course of tomorrow. So you better AM or PM. Control the conversation. Because you don't care then. And the second you stop caring, in inverted commas, about the sale, what do you build? More trust. If you need the sale and you chase the sale, all of a sudden they're gonna feel that commission breath coming from you. Right? So the only way we get rid of commission breath is to build our pipeline in the first place and not spend time on tire kickers. Spending time on the right people that genuinely will move forward at the right time when it's right for them. All right. So think about how you're spending your time, how you're spending your energy. The third one is C. Connect more than ever before. Connect more than ever before. Call like your life depended on it. I'm specifically talking about June right now, end of financial year. Can you add 50% on top of everything that you're doing every single day? Right? I know we think we're working hard. We're targeting two demonstrations. Why not target 3? Why not target 6 and fall short and hit 4? Mm-hmm. Right? Shoot for the moon and land in the stars. Is that the saying? Something like that?
Yeah.
Right?
So cute.
It's so cute. Thank you very much. So is the quote. Right. Let's not allow ourselves to slip into the habit of going, that's my target, so that's my target. That's my target. Screw my target. That's the company target. That's my target. You guys are this is your business. Your business. You guys have got uncapped earning potential in here. Right? I know you're salaried. You are employed, but essentially, I've employed you guys to have your own business within the business. So you do what you want with that on a day-to-day basis. I don't care what hours you work. If you want to work through your break, you want to work late evenings, you want to work Saturdays. Like, that's up to you. I'm not encouraging you necessarily to do that because we've got families. But as a business, if you were treating this as your own business, I promise you don't work 9 to 5. No way. And if you said to yourself, well, how much do I want to earn this year? You want to earn yourself $250,000 this year. What does $250,000 look like in sales? If you were to reverse engineer that and work out, okay, for me to earn $250,000 in commissions, I need to make X amount of sales in a year. That's X amount of sales in a month, X amount of sales in a week, X amount of sales in a day. I've got a closing rate of 35-40%. That means I need to speak to 42 people a day to make that money. How much do you really want that money?
Yeah.
So now I'm going to target 42 people connected in a day. If I speak to 42 people and I know I close at 40%, then I'm going to bring in this amount of revenue, which is going to get me that nice house at the end of the year. It's going to take the kids away.
Yeah.
So it's like, how much do you actually want it? Rather than just coming in just for a KPI.
I know at some places like with Sasha, you actually need to pay him to sell for them.
I know, yeah. It's an interesting concept. Would you like to do that?
No.
Okay, cool.
That's cool, we get paid to
Everyone get your wallets out.
Hey,
You also have that option here.
yeah, you can do that. I'm not opposed to you paying me. I'd like to get away. So a couple of little things just to think about mentally around connecting more than ever before. I put shake more hands, speak to more people, join more groups, get in forums, comment, engage, like we spoke about across the socials this morning. I did a post into the Facebook group this morning telling them there's going to be lives coming up very, very soon. What do they want to get out of those lives? So just asking them, what do you want to see in it? Right? You guys should be commenting on that straight away. What do you want to see in that? I did a post yesterday in the Facebook group saying it's 3 years since Shark Tank. I'd love to hear your experience since you engaged with Swish. How did you first come across us and what's your story? There's 4 or 5 people who have written their story in there. Really cool to read if you haven't written them.
Excellent.
You guys have also got a story, but none of you have commented in there. Why not? Is there a limiting belief that because it's your business you can't? You can. You've still got a story. You're still a product of the process. And if I'm a consumer, I want to hear your journey. I don't want to hear that you're just a salesperson for Swish. I want to know that you stumbled across us 4 years ago at River City Labs, and whatever triggered you in that moment when you went, I need to be a part of this somehow, somewhere, and further down the line, I'm going to get my mum and dad to do their training. I believe in it so much. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, people need to hear that stuff because it's real. So get involved. So the exercise on that one is, what 3 things can you do today to connect either with your current prospects or your clients that they won't expect? What 3 things can you do today to connect on a deeper level with either prospects or your clients that they won't expect? Break the mold. Giving them a call and asking them how they're going with their decision is not breaking the mold.
Yeah.
You're just the same as everybody else.
I was immediately thinking just off the back of changing my approach, and the people who I've been trying to get in contact with for the second call, sending them a text message and just saying hi, like a brief message, say hi, checking in as to like. I'll run it by you just to make sure, but like checking in to see if you've had a chance to watch the video on blah blah blah. Like, just would you?
Don't check in. Don't ask them for anything. Don't make me do anything. Right? Don't make my life harder than it already is. I've got lots of tasks. I've got lots of people that are trying to claw at me every single day. So the aim is send a text message, hey, hope you enjoyed the video, I did send it through to you the other day, have a great one. That's it. It's a statement, not a question.
Okay.
Because the second you ask me something, hey, just checking in, I know what you're doing right now. Just touching base, just following up to see how you went with that video. Basically what you're seeing is how hot are you. Now, hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you took value out of the video,
Okay.
like I
trust
suggested.
you took value from it.
Yeah, I trust you took value, something like that. Another one you can all do, as we start to really build momentum around the Facebook group, is send people invites to that Facebook group.
Okay, excellent.
Like, just you get your audience in there, guys. I guarantee if you're in there and you start to see, give me one of your prospects right now, Jamal, that you're working on. If you get him in the Facebook group and then you see that he joins the Facebook group and then he comments on something, I guarantee you comment underneath. Because if you don't, Eden's going to comment underneath and then he's going to come back to her and then all of a sudden she's going to swoop in and take it.
Sure.
Right,
Sure.
so
But at least you've engaged.
it's the same. It's a mini disco. So like you're not going to start a discovery call with, hey Jamal, what I'm going to do, I'd like to invite you to a Facebook page. You're going to go, mate, tell me about what industry you're in. Yeah, fantastic. What challenges are they facing? This, that, and the other. All right. Well, based around that, why don't you jump into our free Facebook group? Like, I'm not asking for an email. I'm not asking for your phone number. I'm not asking for anything. All I'm doing is trying to redirect you to become a captive audience member in there.
Yeah.
Then all you guys know is that every couple of weeks I'm going to go live in there, add some value to them. Hopefully you guys are going to add value in there every single day, and we're going to get that community rocking over the next few months. And that, if we've got lots of clients already in there, they'll do most of the selling for us anyway. Like I'll be Jeremy Minor on those lives. I'll be referencing, Steve, you've been in our academy for 4 years now, so just explain to everybody else on here that maybe hasn't done our training before, what questions should we be asking as a trial close, 3-step process, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Again, oh, fuck, he knew it. That's because he's been training with us for a long
Excellent.
time. All right, so think about redirecting people to that group as a really kind of soft first level approach. Okay, let's keep moving, guys. It's 20 past 9. The K is keep focused. Keep focused. What that basically means is just remind yourself of your why, of your goals. Like this, when we come in the morning, it's like, Ryan just spoke about making $250,000 a year. That means I got to do 42 dials or 42 connects in a day. What's the point? Like, what's that $250,000 for, right? If you've never had that amount of money in your bank, or you've never earned that amount of money, it can be a little bit fugazi, right? So it's got to be something that's totally tangible for you. I'm a big believer in living in the world temporarily that you want to live in. What I mean by that is, before I had nice cars, I'd go and rent a nice car. I'd go and stay in a nice house that I couldn't afford for a weekend. I'd wear suits that I couldn't afford. I'd go and taste it. But I don't mind that, right? It's a version of manifestation without totally blagging it, right? I'm not saying this is mine, but I'm going to go and have a nice weekend away. Because when you do it, you go, I want more of this. And there's lots of people that imposter syndrome goes, no, I don't deserve that. And like Daniel said yesterday, we do all deserve it, but you do have to work bloody hard to make it happen.
Yeah.
Right? So you have to remind yourself on a day-to-day basis of why are we doing this. If it's for your kids, great. If it's for your church and your community, great. I don't care what it's for, but you need to know every day when you walk in here, why are we doing this? So why bother coming in here for the next 3 Saturdays in June? Like individually, what's the point, right? I can't force you to do it, but is there a bigger goal for you to achieve? Is it that, I want to get out, I don't want to be an SDR for the next 6 months. I want to become a BDM. I want to get 75% of that revenue that goes on the board into my box. So then I get 10, 15% of 75% instead of 25%. Do you know what I mean? Like that will make a hell of a change to your paycheck at the end of the week. Then I've just put our little huddle tips just because most companies don't do that. The D is discipline. Eden, you said it, have a structure. We can control that structure, right?
Yeah.
So our structure is running over right now. I'm in control of that, right? So that's this is way further over our morning meeting than we would usually be, but I think it's important that we do training as often as we can, and I don't get to spend as much time with you guys as I would like. So have a structure, whatever that looks like, doesn't matter, as long as you stick to it. As long as you have the discipline to stick to. Right after this, we're going to do role play, and we're going to do role play for 3 minutes. I'm seeing role play on the floor. Great, we never used to do it often enough. We're doing it, but it's going on too long. Right, we're overthinking it. I'm doing a social media post. Do a social media post. Don't go and write a big long form copy of a post. It doesn't matter. Something is better than nothing, because if you're having to do that every single day, you become a social media agency. You might as well go and start your own agency. Like, we haven't got time to do that. It's just put something out, right? It's not. And Nav might disagree with me, and I know that has to be quality, but something is better than nothing. And whilst you're thinking about that, do you agree? Just get something out.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Thank God.
That's
what my mom said when I was born.
And then I also like the phrase, "How you do anything is how you do everything." How you do anything is how you do everything, right? So if you're still snoozing your alarm in the morning, that's a form of procrastination. So if you're a snoozer, that's okay, but are we working on not snoozing? If you're procrastinating on living, basically, what you're doing when you snooze your alarm, you're saying, "I'm going to pause my life for another 15 minutes." Right? Because when you're in bed, I know you're alive, but you're not living. Right? When you're awake, you're living. You get an opportunity to express yourself and enjoy things and go out there and make shit happen. When you're asleep, yes, I get that you're rejuvenating, and there's an argument for that, and I know that, and Brendan Foley will kill me for telling people to get up earlier than they need to. But the reality is, every time you snooze it, you're snoozing minutes on your life. You do that for 15 minutes every single day, over an hour every single week. Like, you start doing that, you watch what that compounds to over the course of a year. You're taking days and months off your life just by going snooze, snooze, snooze. And then when you get into work, you go, "Oh, I'll call that one. No, I'll do that in a minute." That's a snooze. You've just done a work snooze. I'll do my role play. I'll do a role play in a minute, but within a second, I'm just going to go and grab a coffee. Work snooze. And all those tiny little micro snoozes in your life are just taking away from your opportunity to maximize what you can do every single day. So be careful of your life snoozes, let alone your alarm clock snoozes. The last couple, over-communicate. Over-communicate. Over-communicate with each other. Over-communicate with each other. If you've got challenges, if you've got wins, let's celebrate them. Over-communicate with your prospects. Over-communicate with your clients. That's why I love social media. You can do that in one message. I've just communicated with over 1,000 people in that platform, which is why we've got to get people on there. I don't have to send individual messages. That's not scalable. We can automate it, or we can just get everybody into one group and just send one message. Right. So think about what how often you're speaking to, especially in the CX role. How often are we speaking to people? I put, in terms of uncertainty, be certain in you. In terms of uncertainty, be certain in you. I remember at the start of COVID. I didn't know what the fuck was going on. I didn't know whether we were going to survive or not. But one thing I did know, and I was absolutely certain on, is that I was going to do everything in my power to make sure this business survived. I didn't know how, but I knew I was going to try. And that was it. And that's, hopefully you'll validate for this. I used to come in and I'm like, guys, we'll get through this. I know we'll get through it. Yeah. How? Don't worry about that shit. We'll figure that part out. But that certainty will then filter down across everybody. And that's why we thrived through COVID. Like, we had arguably the best year we've ever had. With the resources that we had, which we're not a massive team, but we had one of the best years we had for building a foundation for growth, right? Because I was so certain that we were going to survive it. So your customers need to hear that as well, right? There's uncertainty in the market, there's uncertainty in the economy, people are scared. You've got to be that light at the end of the tunnel for them. Last couple of things, work as a team. The W is work as a team. And you can see why this crosses way past just COVID, right? This should be a collaborative effort all the time. I don't want you going, "That's my lead," or, "Well, I spoke to her 3 months ago," and, "Well, I spoke to him." I give him a little nudge on the Facebook group. It's like, if we all grow, the company grows, and we all hit our goals. So if you've got somebody that you've been nurturing now for 3 weeks, 4 weeks, a month, and they're not going over the line, maybe we've friend zoned them, hand them over. Give them to somebody else. Like, we know that 50% of something is better than 100% of nothing. So just be honest with yourself. Like, I've got clients that they won't go over the line now, and I know that, and I need somebody to give it a second voice and just say, "Hey, is there anything Ryan could have done better?" Yeah. He was too full on, or I didn't like his suits, or I didn't think his training was relevant. Whatever it is, that's great feedback. We can grow from that. But there's nothing worse than looking at a pipeline full of people that you just know are never going to go anywhere. That's just demoralising. Yeah. So
I don't think you'll change your suits, though.
Never change my suits. I'll take the feedback on the chin, and I'll totally disregard it. I'll call them back personally. So be competitive. Like I want you to be competitive. There's a reason we've got boards up there as well. But you should be looking at that and going, I don't want you just going, yeah, like we said earlier, they're my targets. I want you to try and beat each other, but also support each other. Let's celebrate. If somebody walks out here and they've had a cracking day and they go and get 5-6 demos booked, or they go and put record sales on the board, or one of their clients goes and has a record day as well, let's celebrate that. Like if you hear that if one of your clients messages you and they say, oh, I've just made this sale or done this, which we get so often, drop them a message, put something on social media, congratulating them, do a post on LinkedIn. Like let's support outward as well as inward. So the exercise for that one is making a list of 5 of your prospects right now that you've been speaking to for that have gone outside of your buying window. So you've probably been speaking to them for 2, 3, 4 weeks. They haven't gone over the line just yet. You guys might not have it just yet, might not have that list. And then who are you going to hand them over to?
This is after you've done a move out of move on?
Yes.
Yeah.
So if they're just totally ghosting you, right? Who can you hand them over to? So think about their personality type. Think about the personas of people that are in here, and go, who would complement that person? This is why Jack and I used to work exceptionally well together. Jack was very direct, and I used to call me the cuddler, right? So I would cuddle people all the way in. But cuddling doesn't close everybody. Direct doesn't close everybody. So the people that I miss, Jack would get, and the people that Jack would miss, I would get. So you need to find your other half in here, and it might not be the person that you think it is. All right, last one is negotiate efficiently. Right now, we're coming off the back of a web class. We've got over 400 registrations. You do not have time to waste on tire kickers. The legends will show themselves. They'll tell you to piss off. That's fine. But you don't have time to waste on people that are just genuinely never going to use our services. Don't take it personally. Number 1 rule of negotiation, do not take it personally. Some people are just never going to like us, and that's okay. But there are going to be a portion of people that do like us, but all their ducks aren't in a row just yet. What we also need to remember is that the first objection is very rarely the real objection. So negotiate efficiently and utilize our 4-step process to overcoming objections, our RIO. So appreciate it, relate to it, isolate it, and then only look to overcome the real objection. If we're taking the first objection on the chin as real, you're wasting your own time. You're dragging out your own sales process. So before you even discuss too expensive or talk to partner or send me an email, do not allow yourself to go into that conversation until you've looped at least once. I guarantee it will reduce your whole sales cycle. If you've got people in your pipeline right now that are 4, 5, 6 weeks in, then the chances are we're not even attempting to overcome that first objection. And it's taking you 2 or 3 weeks to get to the real objection when you could have done it on the first conversation. That makes sense. Alrighty. Any questions, guys?
That's epic.
No? Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you. You can see why I wanted to turn that session into something a little bit more general than just lockdown training. But so today's focus, making sure we get into the SAP web class leads first and foremost. Ariana's obviously not here just yet. Steve-O, has she distributed those by tag? They're already done. So yeah, awesome. So we've had 7 people buy. Have they been pulled out?
I don't know if they've been pulled out or not.
You got that list anyway, so you can
call them first.
So just make sure they're all yours, and then you're going to call them all first thing this morning. And then primary focus, genuine feedback. Secondary focus, is there anything else that we can do for them? And then a default, move them into the Facebook group if they're not already in there.
Perfect.
All good. The offer is over. It's now back up to 1497. It's on the website. We'll stick to that because that's what we told them. If they're really, really keen, we'll make them work for it. Open Pay is obviously available as well now, guys. Have you had a look at that on the website? So good, it literally tells you what the first payment is. It's so good. Question? No? Alright guys, anything? Okay, let's go.
Thank you.
3-minute role play team.
Perfect.